Hey friend, tonight we're drifting far, beyond the glowing buzz of city lights, past the quiet pull of the moon, and well beyond Saturn's icy rings. We're headed somewhere darker, quieter, and much, much stranger. We're diving into the mysterious realm of black holes, those silent cosmic giants that don't roar, don't glow, yet somehow pull in stars, light, and even our imaginations. What are they? Where do they come from? And why do they feel like the universe's most whispered ghost story? Before we venture into this deep and shadowy place, go ahead and tap that like button. But only if this calm little corner of the cosmos feels like home. And in the comments, I'd love to know, what time is it for you? And where in this wide, beautiful universe are you listening from? Now's the time to get cozy. Dim the lights. Turn your screen brightness down. Maybe turn on a fan for that soft, soothing hum. Wrap yourself in a warm blanket. Let your breath slow and your thoughts soften. And with that, let's begin our slow journey into the most mysterious places in space. Picture this. You're drifting in space, surrounded by stars. Everything feels peaceful, endless. A calm so complete it feels like time itself has stopped. You're floating gently, weightless, as the galaxy spins lazily around you. Stars twinkle like distant candle flames. Nebulae swirl like painted clouds. You could almost forget that danger could exist out here. And then, ahead of you, something strange, an invisible pull, a bending of the starlight, like space itself is being quietly swallowed. That is a black hole. But the name is a bit misleading. It's not a hole. Not really. There's no tunnel, no exit on the other side. A black hole is more like a trap. A place where gravity has gone so wild, so intense, that nothing, not even light, can escape. It is not a presence that announces itself with sound or color. It does not rage. It simply exists. Perfectly still, perfectly patient. So how do these cosmic beasts form? They begin life as stars, big ones, giants really, massive celestial furnaces, dozens of times larger than our sun. And like all stars, they shine because of a delicate balance, gravity pulling in, nuclear fusion pushing out. It's a battle between collapse and explosion, always in motion, always in tension. But eventually, that balance breaks, the fuel runs out, the fusion stops, and when it does, gravity wins. The star collapses under its own immense weight. The collapse is total, so total, in fact, that the star's core gets squeezed into a single point, a singularity, where the density becomes infinite, and physics as we know it breaks down. It's not just small, it's a concept more than a thing. Surrounding that is the event horizon, the point of no return. Cross it, and you're gone. No signals out, no messages back. Just silence. And here's the strange thing. You could pass by a black hole and never know it. It doesn't emit light. It doesn't glow. The only sign it's there is the eerie way it warps the space around it, and the way it holds on, tightly, to anything that strays too close. It's like the universe's most patient predator. Waiting. Quiet. Eternal. But it's not malicious. It doesn't seek. It doesn't chase. It simply is. And maybe that's the most unsettling part. Not because it threatens, but because it waits so quietly. You forget it's there, until it reminds you, with nothing but a bend in the light and a silence too deep to measure. Imagine you're floating just outside a black hole. It's not noisy. It doesn't hiss or growl. In fact, it doesn't make a sound at all. Because space, as it turns out, is profoundly silent. There is no air for sound to travel through, no atmosphere to carry the weight of a voice, or the scream of a star being torn apart. It's quiet in the truest, deepest way imaginable. And yet, black holes have a presence, a gravity not just of mass, but of mood, a weight, not just in the scientific sense, but in the way they seem to pull at your thoughts. The silence isn't empty. It's dense, like standing in a cathedral alone, the kind of stillness that makes you aware of your own breath, your heartbeat, the passing of time. Astronomers can't hear black holes, but they can listen to their echoes. When gas and dust spiral into the abyss, they don't go quietly. That material compresses, heats up, and glows with radiation, especially in X-rays. These emissions are invisible to human eyes, but picked up by specialized space telescopes. It's how we see the unseen. We don't hear black holes directly. We hear the space around them scream just before it goes silent. And then it vanishes. The last trace of matter gone. The glowing dust stripped from time itself. There's something spiritual in that, something almost sacred, a place where matter disappears, where time distorts, where even light gives up. It's as if the universe itself bows its head. Black holes don't need to roar to be frightening. They're quiet. Their calm is more than enough. Because sometimes, silence is the sound. It tells you where the rules end, where mystery begins, and maybe, just maybe, where the secrets are kept. So if you ever find yourself wondering what the universe sounds like, remember this moment, this stillness, this hush, and know that its deepest mysteries are completely, perfectly quiet. And somehow, that silence says more than words ever could. Now we drift into something even weirder. Black holes don't just swallow matter. They play with time. Here at the edge of a black hole, just outside the event horizon, the rules begin to shift. Not all at once, not dramatically, but subtly. Like the world tilting ever so slightly while you try to walk in a straight line. Imagine you're floating there, suspended like a feather in a breeze. You glance at your watch. It's ticking. 1 second, then another. Everything feels normal. But to someone far away, maybe watching from a spaceship in a distant orbit, you don't look normal at all. To them, your movement's slow. Your fall becomes syrupy, like time itself is being poured instead of passed. From their perspective, you never cross the threshold. You just hover at the edge, forever frozen, caught in the slowest moment imaginable. But from your view, you fall, and you keep falling. Time doesn't feel strange to you. It moves as it always has. One breath, one thought, one memory at a time. This is called gravitational time dilation, a concept predicted by Einstein's theory of general relativity and proven through delicate experiments with satellites and atomic clocks. Time, it turns out, is not fixed. It bends in the presence of gravity. And black holes? They don't just bend it. They knead it, stretch it, press it into unfamiliar shapes. If you could hover safely near the edge of a black hole, an impossible feat for many reasons, you could, in theory, age minutes while years pass elsewhere. A future unfolds without you. Empires rise and fall. Stars are born, live and die. And you would still be falling. Inside the event horizon, time becomes even stranger. Some physicists believe it doesn't just slow, it stops. Others think it curves inward, leading everything toward the singularity, where time and space cease to have meaning. It's not just a fall into space, it's a fall into a different kind of time, or maybe a place where time lets go. And as you lie there now, maybe beneath a blanket or beneath the stars, let that idea gently wrap around you. That time is not rigid, that even the universe knows how to pause, how to stretch a moment, how to slow down. So if you're feeling a little sleepy right now, a little untethered, let yourself drift. Maybe, just maybe, time is getting strange here too. The soft horror of spaghettification. It's a real term. Scientists, with all their seriousness and equations, couldn't resist naming it something almost whimsical. Spaghettification. But don't worry. We're not here to spook. We're going to drift gently through the physics. Let's imagine again. You're falling into a black hole, feet first. As you drift downward, something peculiar starts to happen. Gravity, that quiet sculptor of the universe, begins to play a cruel trick. Because gravity near a black hole doesn't behave evenly. It changes fast, rapidly, incredibly so. Your feet, being slightly closer to the black hole than your head, feel a much stronger pull. It's as if you're being gently, then firmly, tugged apart. Not like ripping paper or sudden pain, but like stretching taffy. Gradual, inescapable. Your body begins to elongate. Arms, legs, spine, all drawn out into a long, thin line. You're not crushed. You're unraveled. Scientists call this tidal force, just like the moon pulls at Earth's oceans, only far more intense. Near a black hole, the difference in gravity from one part of your body to the next can grow beyond comprehension. And yet, strangely, peacefully, you might not even feel it. To you, the fall would feel smooth. Time is slowing. Your thoughts are quiet. There's no jerking, no ripping, just a pull, as if you're being guided somewhere. To an outside observer, it's different. They watch you become a thread, thinning, stretching, fading from sight. But inside your experience, it's almost peaceful, and that's what makes it unsettling. It's not a death of violence or sound. It's quiet, almost poetic. It's as if the universe is gently taking you apart, atom by atom, with the same care it used to build stars. Spaghettification might sound terrifying, and yes, from a safe distance it is. But up close, it's oddly calm, because the black hole doesn't rage. It doesn't bite. It just pulls. Softly. Completely. You're not being destroyed. You're being undone. A thread unwinding into the fabric of space and time. No scream, no pain, just the long, slow hush of everything you were, becoming everything you are not. And in that strange surrender, there's something hauntingly beautiful. So here you are, just beyond the edge. You've crossed the event horizon, quietly, irreversibly. And now we have to ask the question that even physicists speak with a kind of reverence. What's inside a black hole? The truth is, we don't know, not completely, not confidently, not even with all our satellites, our math, our telescopes pressed like eyes against the glass of the universe. But let's imagine. At the very center lies what's called a singularity, a place where the laws of physics no longer apply, where gravity compresses matter into a point of infinite density, a place not of size but of pure intensity. The star that once was is no longer a star. It's become a concept, a paradox. It's not just matter that collapses here. It's rules, logic, time. The singularity is the heart of the black hole, if you can call it that. But don't imagine a glowing orb or a swirling mass. Imagine a place that exists in math more than in space. A point so small we can't see it. So heavy, it bends everything around it. Even the idea of a round. And then there's the event horizon, the shell around the singularity. Once you pass that boundary, you're cut off from light, from sound, from cause and effect. Anything that falls in, stays in. Forever. Or maybe not. Some theories, still just whispers in the halls of physics, suggest something stranger. That the inside isn't a void, but a bridge, a wormhole, a tunnel to somewhere else. Another time. Another universe. Another version of everything. Maybe black holes aren't just endings. Maybe they're shortcuts. Maybe they're births. We don't know what lies inside. Not for sure. But isn't that part of the beauty? The mystery? The way a black hole keeps its secrets, not with traps, but with silence. It's the universe saying, this part, you're not ready for. And in that darkness, our imagination takes flight. Not because we understand, but because we don't. Because black holes don't just challenge physics, they challenge certainty. And as you lie there tonight, with stars above or dreams ahead, let that comfort you. That not everything must be known to be real. Some truths are meant to be wondered about. Quietly, softly, like the pull of a tide that leads you somewhere you've never been. When you think of a black hole, you probably imagine destruction, a hungry void, a space monster. And why wouldn't you? After all, black holes do swallow stars, light, even time itself. They're cosmic predators. But what if I told you that without them, the universe might never have taken shape? Black holes don't just end things, they build. At the center of almost every galaxy, those vast swirling cities of stars, there lies a supermassive black hole, including our own Milky Way, where one rests quietly, about 4 million times more massive than our sun. It doesn't roar or burn, it just is, still and steady, like the center of a spinning top. Galaxies don't just happen to form around black holes, they need them. The black hole's gravity helps organize the chaos, gathering stars, steering their motion, guiding gas and dust into the spiral arms that stretch like galactic fingers across space. They are, in a strange way, the architects of the cosmos. And when these supermassive black holes feed, they don't do it quietly. As gas and matter swirl inward, They form something called an accretion disk, a hot, bright ring of energy. That material gets so compressed and heated that it emits intense light, sometimes visible across the universe. Some even shoot out jets of plasma from their poles, stretching thousands of light years. We call these galaxies active, and from far away, they shine like cosmic beacons. But when they're done feeding, black holes settle back into their quiet state, unseen, unfelt, just waiting. There's a strange kind of wisdom in that, to be so central, so powerful, and yet so still. Maybe there's a lesson for us in that balance. The idea that holding things together doesn't always mean being loud. Sometimes, the strongest forces are the ones that simply endure. So next time you look up and see the stars scattered across the sky, think of that silent anchor at the center of it all. Invisible, patient, eternal. Not a destroyer, but a quiet keeper of the dance. Stars feel eternal, don't they? They twinkle in the night sky like ancient whispers, silent and constant. We grow up with them, wish on them, measure time by their light. They feel dependable, unchanging. But even stars have lifespans, and when the biggest among them reach their end, they don't fade quietly. They collapse. They explode. They become black holes. Let's drift back now, gently, to the beginning, to the birth of a star. It all starts in a nebula, a vast cloud of gas and dust floating in the silence of space. Gravity slowly gathers the particles, pulling them tighter, forming a dense core. And when enough pressure builds, fusion ignites. Hydrogen fuses into helium, releasing light and warmth. A new star is born. For millions, or even billions of years, it lives. Burning, balancing. Gravity tries to pull it inward. Fusion pushes outward. A delicate dance. But eventually, the fuel runs out. The fusion slows, and gravity, no longer opposed, takes over. If the star is small, like our sun, it will expand into a red giant, shed its outer layers, and leave behind a white dwarf, a hot, fading ember in the dark. But if the star is massive, something far more dramatic happens. It implodes. The core collapses inward at unimaginable speed. The outer layers rebound in a massive explosion, a supernova, brighter than an entire galaxy, visible across the universe. And what's left? A black hole, born from fire, forged in collapse, a silent monument to the life that once was. But it's not a tragedy. That supernova spreads elements, carbon, iron, oxygen, across the galaxy. Elements that make up planets, oceans, trees, and you. You are made of star stuff, as Carl Sagan said. But not just starlight. You are made of endings, of collapse, of transformation. You are forged from the dust of ancient deaths. And because of that, every breath you take is part of something older, deeper, and more beautiful than any story ever told. So tonight, as your thoughts begin to slow and sleep begins to settle, remember this. Even the brightest lights must fade. But in their fading, they give birth to everything that follows. In the universe, even death is a kind of creation. Even silence is full of life. We've talked about what black holes are, what they do, what they take, but maybe the most important thing they offer is mystery. Because black holes don't just stretch stars or time, they stretch us. our minds, our curiosity, our questions. They remind us that for all we've learned, all our probes and theories and data, we're still very much in the infancy of understanding the cosmos. And black holes, they sit quietly at the edge of that knowing. Here's something to imagine as you settle deeper into rest. What lies beyond the event horizon? Is it a point, a place, a path? Some say the singularity is just that, a single point, infinitely dense where time stops and space folds in on itself. A place where before and after no longer exist, where all directions lead inward. Others believe it might be something more complex. A bridge, a tunnel, a wormhole connecting one part of the universe to another, or maybe even connecting to another universe entirely. It could be a reset button, a recycling bin for matter and energy, or perhaps a kind of cosmic vault where the secrets of all that's fallen in are kept safe, hidden and inaccessible. The truth is, we don't know, and maybe we never will. And maybe that's okay, because there's a certain comfort in mystery, a peace in letting go of the need to know everything. Some things are meant to be wondered about, not solved, like a poem in a language you can almost understand, like music playing from a room you've never seen. Even our brightest scientists, those who spend their lives chasing particles and equations, sometimes pause at the threshold of a black hole and simply shrug. Not because they don't care, but because they understand that some questions must live unanswered, for now. So as you drift off tonight, let that thought linger with you like stardust, that not everything is meant to be grasped. Some things are meant to be felt, and perhaps the most powerful force in the universe isn't gravity, it's wonder. What if black holes aren't just endings? What if they're doors? It's a thought that lives on the edge of science, too uncertain to be proven, too beautiful to be dismissed. Some scientists quietly wonder, could a black hole be a passage? A tunnel, maybe. A wormhole. A bridge between 2 points in space and time. The idea is simple enough to picture. Imagine folding the universe like a piece of paper, pressing 2 faraway dots together, and punching a hole between them. That hole could be a black hole. And on the other side, some believe it could be a white hole, a theoretical twin that does the opposite of a black hole. It pushes matter out instead of pulling it in, a cosmic exhale to match the black hole's inhale. It's just theory, but theory is how discovery begins. Now take that idea one step further. What if these cosmic tunnels don't just move through space, but through reality? Enter the multiverse theory, the belief that there are other universes, floating beyond ours like bubbles in a great unseen sea. Some might be similar, others entirely strange. Different laws of physics, different histories, different versions of us. And maybe, just maybe, black holes are how we reach them. No one knows for sure. We can't test it. We can't send a probe into a black hole and expect a postcard in return. But imagination doesn't need proof. It needs openness. And black holes invite that openness, that wonder. Maybe you've felt it too, that pull when you stare at the night sky. Not fear, not even curiosity, just longing. A quiet feeling that there's more. Not just out there, but within the folds of reality itself. Maybe black holes are not the universe saying goodbye. Maybe they're it whispering, this isn't the end. So tonight, Let your thoughts wander a little further, past the stars, past the edges of what we know. Let them drift toward the possibility that some doors open inward, some endings are beginnings in disguise, and some black holes are invitations. Black holes don't shine, they don't reflect, they don't whisper. So how do we find them? We listen, not with ears, but with technology. Instruments as sensitive as the questions we're asking. Machines that don't just observe, they feel. Because black holes don't announce themselves. They leave clues, trails, ripples in the quiet fabric of space. For centuries, they were only theory. Mysterious objects that fell out of Einstein's equations, like a secret written in the margins of the universe. Even Einstein himself wasn't sure they were real. But the universe was already full of them. And then, we built the tools to see what had always been hidden. In April of 2019, the world held its breath as an image was revealed. Not sharp, not vivid, but unmistakable. A glowing orange ring, the accretion disk of matter spiraling into nothingness, a shadow at the center. The silhouette of a supermassive black hole in galaxy M87, 55 million light-years away. Captured by the Event Horizon Telescope, a network of radio telescopes around the world, synchronized to form a planet-sized observatory. It was humanity's first true glimpse at an invisible giant. We didn't see the black hole itself, of course. We saw its absence, its shadow, the way it bent light into a quiet halo of fire. And then came the ripples. In 2015, LIGO, a gravitational wave observatory, picked up the faintest tremor, two black holes colliding over 1 billion light-years away. Their death spiral sent a ripple through space-time, like a drop in a cosmic ocean. We heard it, not with ears, but with instruments that could sense the stretching and compressing of reality itself. A tiny signal, 1 billion years in the making. That moment changed everything. It proved that black holes not only exist, they speak, in waves, in bends, in silences too deep for human senses, but not for our reach. So tonight, know this: we are listening to the quietest giants in the cosmos, and slowly they are speaking back, not in words, but in wonder. So here we are, at the edge of everything we've explored. Black holes, silent giants, creatures of collapse and creation, of gravity and grace, and maybe a little like us, because haven't we all held on to something so tightly it almost pulled us in? A thought, a memory, a fear, a hope so dense, so heavy, it bent the space around our lives. Black holes are made of that. Not emotions, of course, but gravity, the most patient force in the universe. It doesn't push, it doesn't force, it just pulls. Quietly, consistently, always. They don't chase stars. They wait. They draw things in, not out of malice, but because of what they are. And maybe in some strange way, that's what makes them beautiful. Because in a universe filled with noise, with light, with chaos, black holes are still. They are the spaces between, the pauses, the breaths. They don't shine, but they shape. They hold galaxies together. They bring order to the stars, and they ask for nothing in return. Sometimes the most powerful thing in a room isn't the loudest. It's the one that listens, that absorbs, that just is. And maybe in your own life, there are moments like that too. Moments of quiet strength, of unspoken presence, of invisible influence that holds everything else in place. You don't always have to blaze to matter. You can be the gravity, the calm, the center of something vast. Black holes remind us that not everything bright is good, and not everything dark is bad. Some darkness is sacred, some silence is rich, and some mysteries are meant to be sat with, not solved. So as you rest now, let your thoughts soften. You don't need all the answers. You just need the wonder. Because in the grand unfolding of space and time, the universe doesn't always explain itself. Sometimes, it just invites you to listen. No more questions now. Just stars above and behind us, like tiny whispers stitched into a blanket of night. Quiet. Distant. Watching. You are floating. Not falling. Not flying. Just being. Weightless. Effortless. Suspended in the hush. Below you, a slow swirl of galaxies spins in silence. Light years of wonder painted in broad cosmic strokes. Nebulae glow like lanterns, shifting softly in hues of rose and gold, blue and green, like watercolor drifting in zero gravity. You drift past them, not quickly, not slowly, just at the rhythm of thought, of breath. Further still, the black holes. They aren't monsters now, not mysteries, just companions of the dark, resting, waiting, perfectly still. One hovers in the distance, quiet and serene, a perfect sphere of night, framed by a halo of glowing gas, golden light spiraling like the edge of a dream. It doesn't pull, it doesn't threaten, it just is. Time feels different here. Not gone, just softer, like it's curled up, taking a nap with you. The seconds don't tick, they sigh, and you find yourself slowing too. There are no clocks here, no calendars, no expectations. Just rhythm, breath, orbit. You are surrounded by stillness. Not the empty kind, the full kind. The kind that holds meaning without needing to speak it. And in that stillness, a quiet truth settles in. You are small, yes, but never insignificant. You are part of this, not just watching the stars. You are made of them. Thought and dust and possibility. There's nothing left to do. No need to understand. Just float. Let the hush of the cosmos carry you. Let the velvet dark fold around you like the universe is tucking you in. You are safe here. The giants are watching. The silence is singing. And now, it's time to rest. Good night. If you're still here, still listening, still floating somewhere in this sea of stars, thank you. Truly. It means more than you know. Because in a world full of noise, of urgency, of never-ending scrolls and glowing screens, choosing to sit in silence, to be curious, to listen all the way through a quiet story about cosmic shadows, that's something special. And if you've drifted off already, that's okay too. That's what this space is for. To rest, to wonder, to pause between the moments of the day and let your mind go weightless for a while. But if you're still awake, still gently hovering here with me, I want to say this. I appreciate you. You've just taken a journey through some of the strangest, most beautiful ideas our universe has to offer. Ideas that have baffled scientists and inspired poets. Concepts that lie at the intersection of mystery and math. And you made it. So if there are questions you still carry, questions about space, about time, about the strange and infinite world we're part of, leave them in the comments. What keeps you up at night? What would you like to hear whispered to you next? Because this channel, this quiet little corner of the cosmos, is a place where those questions matter, where curiosity gets to stretch out and breathe, where we explore not to solve everything, but to feel a little less alone while wondering. Want to know what dark matter is, or how time might end, or whether the universe is infinite, or just pretending to be? Tell me. And maybe, together, we'll turn your question into a soft, starlit answer you can fall asleep to. So thank you again for being here, for listening, for wondering. The stars are still out there, waiting, and so am I. Until next time, rest well, dream deeper, and keep asking. And for those of you still with me, eyes may be half closed, but ears wide open, this last little chapter is just for you, because sometimes the wonder doesn't stop when the story ends. So here are a few more fascinating black hole facts we might not have mentioned earlier. Quiet little cosmic secrets, perfect for late-night thoughts. Did you know that black holes can spin? Not just a little. Some of them spin at nearly the speed of light. That rotation can twist space itself into a spiral. It's called frame dragging. And if you got close enough, you'd be caught in that swirl, your path curving whether you wanted it to or not. And there's a special kind of black hole called a Kerr black hole, named after the scientist who described it. It doesn't just pull you in. It could, in theory, let you orbit inside a strange loop of space and time. Not forever, but for a while. Just long enough to make physicists very nervous. And how about this? Black holes can evaporate. Yes, according to Stephen Hawking, they slowly leak energy over time through something called Hawking radiation. It's slow, almost impossibly slow, but eventually, over trillions of years, even the largest black holes might fade away, like embers going cold in the dark. And one more. There might be tiny black holes, no bigger than atoms, left over from the Big Bang. We haven't found them yet, but if they exist, they could be floating through space, passing right through Earth, unnoticed. Imagine that. A black hole, the size of a grain of sand, drifting through your bedroom wall at night. Quiet, harmless, hidden in the fabric of the cosmos. These are the kinds of mysteries that don't need loud answers. They just need a quiet moment, like this one. So if your curiosity is still glowing, let it. Don't blow it out. Let it flicker with the stars a little longer. And when you're ready, let sleep take over. The universe will still be here in the morning.